Yo guys, what is up, and welcome back to a brand new video here today on the channel. Today, we're coming out to this here juicy little pond to see if we can't get on some big summer bass here. So let's get right on into it. I'm excited. Alright guys, so this is a pond that I haven't fished in quite a while. I probably haven't made a video here in almost a year. But this is actually one of my favorite ponds to fish. I'm coming out here, I'm just going to start out with a little googanbaits mondo worm right here. But this pond has a ton of grass in it. It is super clear as well. And I've already taken a couple casts in there and I got a bite right away. So hopefully can't get on some fish here. Like I said, I'm starting with a mondo worm. I also got a little swim bait tied up, as well as a finesse little wacky rig to maybe get on some cruising little small guys. But I'm already seeing a ton of fish up shallow, few bass, already got a bite. And I'm excited. We're gonna walk around this whole pond and hopefully get on some big fish here. That's a fish. Got it. Oh, it came off. Dude, I've gotten so many bites. I'm not sure how much I've put in the video, but I've gotten so many bites. I've seen a few bass up shallow, and I've gotten a ton of bites. That dude was running with it. I just have this junior-sized mondo worm on here. And they're just cranking it, but they just will not. But it always happens when I come to this pond. I catch about maybe a quarter of all the bites I get is how many fish that I'm able to catch. But the fish that I do end up hooking up to are usually decent sized fish. Yep, that fish has got it. He's got it. Got him. There we go. There we go. Decent fish. There we go. Number one. Number one in the grass. Finally got one to get the bait. Came over to this, in this grass, and I finally got one to completely commit. Absolutely cranked that little mondo worm right there. Just that junior-sized mondo worm. I mean, it's not a giant. It's a chunky little fish right there. And I've gotten so many bites already today. I'm not sure how much I've even put in the video, but that is a decent sized little fish, probably around a half pound. Just a little aggressive guy on that mondo worm, but let's get him back in the water. Let's get on some more. Let's go. All right, guys, not a bad first one of the day. Let's throw him back into this clear water. There he goes. I'd already gotten so many bites. Which always happens at this pond. This is a pond where you get a ton of bites and you only get a few fish, but those fish are usually pretty decent size. Well, that one wasn't super big, probably around a half pound. At least it's a start. At least there are some that are willing to fully commit to that bait, just on that little googanbaits mondo worm right here, just throwing it in a June bug color, which for some reason always catches me fish in clear ponds like this. But just weightless Texas rig, slow rolling that worm. Let's get back in there and get on some more fish here. Let's go. Oh my God, some just took it. Got him. Oh my God, that was 2 inches from the bank. Oh my God, it's not even a terrible fish. Oh my gosh, I dropped it in an inch, like a foot from the bank, and this dude just cranked it. Oh my God, I literally dropped it in. It's probably 3/4 of a pound, not much bigger than that first one. But I dropped my worm in like a couple feet from the bank in a little hole that I could see the bottom in, because this water is so clear. There wasn't as much grass in the water, just some on the top. And this dude just cranked it. That was crazy. I was not expecting that fish to eat it right there. Just absolutely cranked that mondo worm right up shallow. Let's get him back. All right, guys, that was pretty crazy eat right at the bank. Didn't even cast, just dropped it in. My line started running, barely had enough line out to let him eat it. But that's a pretty long fish, probably around maybe a pound, probably around 3/4 of a pound. Drop him back right into that clear water. That was pretty insane. I just dropped that bait in there. I'd cast it a few times on the outside of this grass, and I just looked in to a spot that there didn't seem to be much grass. There was a bit on top, but there was nothing kind of in there, so I could actually see the bottom. I just pitched it in there, and that dude must have been right inside of the grass, came out and just cranked it. I barely had enough line to let him eat it, so I just kind of put my rod tip in the water. He just cranked it. Number 2 on the day. Not a giant, definitely the best one of the day, better than that first one. But again, on that Mondo worm, that junior-sized googanbaits Mondo worm right there. Let's keep fishing with this bait because obviously these fish are destroying it. Some's got it. Some's got it. Oh my God, I had nowhere to set the hook. He ate it as soon as it went in there. He definitely didn't get the whole bait. I mean, look, he just absolutely cranked it. It just completely came off. I need to put a new one on. He ripped that up. I've been walking up along this bank to any of these spots that are slightly open, and there's just light layer of growth on top of the water, but I can easily cast through it. And I've gotten 2 good bites. That one, I'm not sure how big that fish was, but I mean, he absolutely cranked it. That worm was so ripped up from the previous couple fish that I had caught and gotten bites from. I mean, every spot that on the bank that I come up to, there is a fish there. And the last spot had definitely a decent sized one. Literally gonna drop this bait right there. Oh my God, there was a fish right there. He's biting it. I have no idea. He's on it. Oh my God, did you see that? That was an inch from the bank. He didn't even have the hook. He was literally just biting on the tail end of it. An inch from the bank. Like literally a foot from the bank. Didn't even cast, just dropped my bait in there with, there's more fish literally right here. Like just dropping it in. Oh my God, he ate it. Oh my God, I got him. Did you guys see that? Oh my God, he blew up on it on the top of the water. Oh my God, it was a bass. That was so cool. I cast it up into the tree. I cast it up into this tree right here, and it fell down, and he blew up on top of the water and just absolutely choked it. That was insane. I mean, it's the smallest one of the day, just a little, probably about half pounder. But I mean, did he crank that bait? I gotten so many bites in here. I thought they were all bluegill, and he blew up on it maybe 5 feet from the bank, casting underneath that tree. I hit the tree, and it fell right down, and this dude just absolutely cranked it. Let's get him back in the water. That was crazy that fish ate it so close to the bank. Let's just drop him in right into the same spot. It's just a thin layer of growth on top, but you can drop that bait right in there. Oh my God. He just absolutely soaked me right there. That was so cool. I got a bunch of bites in there too. So if I wonder if there's any more fish, but I literally casted, that dude must have been, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 feet from the bank. I cast it up, hit that tree. It landed maybe right there. You guys saw him, hopefully, blow up on that bait. I thought they were all bluegill in this corner because of how just finicky they were being and not taking the whole bait. But that dude just blew up on it and absolutely killed it. All right, I'm gonna try one last thing for these fish. I'm not sure how much of it I've put in the video so far. Obviously, the 3 fish, and hopefully I've put in a bunch of the bites that I've gotten under these trees because they've been insane. I just cannot seem to hook them. I'm coming back with a wacky rig now, a small little googanbaits drag and drop on a tiny little wacky rig hook. Maybe I'll be able to hook some of these fish. One's eating it right now. Got him. Yup. My strategy worked. Bring back the, wait, that's a sunfish. No way. Is that what have been eating my bait all this time? I mean, I've seen a few bass that have absolutely destroyed it. And I've lost a few right at the bank. But I mean, it's a massive sunfish right there. This could be what the majority of my bites are being, why I'm not hooking them. I know I've had at least 4 or 5 bass that I've seen the tails of. I've seen them come up and destroy it. But that could be what's eating my bait. That it isn't a bass. Because there are definitely some bass, like I keep saying. But there could be a lot of bluegill in there too. Big ones like this that are eating it as well. Well, I mean, I took the wacky rig. It definitely worked to get that fish. Oh, I actually have this one hooked. It is another bluegill, I think. Yeah, it's another massive bluegill. I guess that's what a lot of these fish are. That's a massive bluegill on the wacky rig. All right, bluegill number 2 on the wacky rig. Man, I didn't even want to hook him. I knew it was a bluegill. I didn't even set the hook and he had the hook in his mouth. It makes a lot more sense though. I'm gonna take maybe 2 more pitches in here, but then we're gonna have to go. I mean, again, just on it, instantly, as soon as it hits the water.